Ladies and gentlemen, let's again into the video. We're going to be discussing the Xbox One's SDKs as well as ESRAM. This is from a couple of different developers, but I'm just going to lump it all into one video. If I sound a little bit low energy, it's because I've just been doing hardware reviews all day, and so I'm not got quite the level of gusto as normal, but we're going to be blasting through this pretty quickly. So we're going to be starting out with Compulsion Games. Now, Compulsion Games are the developers behind Contrast, which of course have brought the title over to the Xbox One as well as the PS4 and the PC. And recently, he was doing an AMA, Ask Me Anything, over on Reddit. So he started by discussing the Xbox One's development kit, and specifically how it's actually changed over a period of time. He says, I don't really have a great deal of info for you. We only updated once since starting developing on it since January/February, and then we were done 3 months later. Off topic for a second, that's actually a pretty impressive development time, but anyway. However, the tools are always more mature after compared to before launch, and they were absolutely in good shape. Generally, we stick to one version of the SDK unless we need to upgrade, whether that need is a tech-driven, i.e. the new SDK supports features we want to use, or because the SDK isn't release supported anymore. So those of you with a PlayStation Plus account, you'll no doubt be aware that the PlayStation Plus as well as Xbox Gold accounts, with of course their games for gold, you basically get free games monthly, and it's been on the minds of many gamers, how does this actually affect you as a developer if your game is basically being given away for free? And he responded, we got asked, and we have a pretty good relationship with Sony, and when it looked like we were going to make launch date, we started talking about this, and we had hoped that the marketing support would mean that we'd reach way more people. The PS Plus and GWG programs are great for visibility. There's a substantial number of people who would never have known who we are, except for PS Plus. It'll be really interesting to see how GWG grows over the next 1 year, I think. I would have liked for them to have discussed a little bit about the financial aspect of this, but unfortunately we don't. I'm going to dig into that, I think, as a aside. But I feel that for smaller developers, or even for larger developers, it actually is good for the notoriety's sake. But anyway, a little bit about the ESRAM and the Xbox One as well from them. They said that of course they did utilize the ESRAM, but they didn't really spend a huge amount of time tuning it. But they were basically using it to store sensitive/commonly used visual elements. And they also pointed out that it'll be interesting to see how people actually use it. We didn't really need to take that too much advantage of it. Despite the fact, and this is out of quote, despite the fact that, in my personal opinion anyway, it's a reasonably nice looking game. I have covered it on, I believe, the PC and PlayStation 4, but I know I specifically have covered it on the PS4. Despite the fact that it is nice looking, it's not exactly next-gen visuals, at the end of the day. A lot of utilization of the ESRAM isn't really a requirement. But that does bring us over to the Creative Assembly. The lead designer, Gary Nepper, recently spoke to Gaming Vault, and he was asked how is it going to be working on the Xbox One and PS4, and said regarding 1080p/60, we're still in the final stage of the development on the game, so we're definitely aiming as high as possible. We haven't really had any version-specific issues because we developed the game as a central version first. I think what we care about on the gameplay feels right. That's not costing us anything depending on the platform. We're also making it for the PS3 and Xbox 360, so we have to make sure that the previous gen is still supported, and that's the same essential core games there. He also pointed out, in regards to the limitations of the ESRAM, not that I'm aware, no. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but so far it's been pretty good. So, this is in addition to what other developers have pointed out. I mean, at the end of the day, the developers are getting around this stuff, and it really is a simple case of it's not just about plonking, say, an entire render target on ESRAM. It's actually sometimes even about segmenting the scene into even smaller chunks. For example, putting more static objects, for example, say the sky, in a texture from, say, DRAM. That's another thing that was actually mentioned at the Development Day conference. If you need more information, you can just search Developer Day on the channel. And another point we've got to remember is that, in effect, the Xbox One ESRAM, especially when we're talking about cross-generation, it's less of a big deal. This is actually in addition to what rumours we're hearing regarding Halo, the Master Chief Collection. So, how this basically goes, and I'm certainly going to be doing a lot more checking into this, but basically, Frank O'Connor, is actually the franchise director, said that there's a chance that the Halo 2 anniversary campaign could be running at a different resolution to accommodate the second frame buffer, but the intent is to overcome that hurdle. We'll keep showing progress throughout the year using the process we call game development. I've heard rumours that it's going to be different resolutions, but I didn't want to discuss this too much because it's quite a big topic from what I'm hearing. So I'm certainly going to be doing some checking on that as well, but I thought I'd just throw this in to this video just in case you guys weren't aware of it. As I mentioned, I have been really busy with hardware reviews and a few other bits and pieces, so hopefully I can get all that sorted out for you guys over the next few days. Anyway, I think that's just about it for this particular video. Hopefully you found it somewhat awesome. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.